If you've ever thought, why can't I just stick to this budget? You're not alone. Most women blame discipline for every financial hiccup, but discipline is actually the least helpful thing in your toolkit. Your systems, your clarity, and your values, not your willpower, are what determine your success. Today, I'm going to show you why more discipline isn't the answer and what actually is. Hey there, and welcome to Wealthy After 40. I'm Daylene Higgins, your podcast host and financial coach. If you're a Gen X woman or couple who's worried about retirement, maybe you feel like you're starting late or don't have enough saved, you're in the right place. This show is all about ditching the financial stress and creating a retirement plan that works for your life now and later. So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let's figure this out together. Welcome to the episode. I'm excited to dive into the idea of discipline. That's where we're going to start off. And you already budget, and for you, it's working well most of the time. But once in a while, you find yourself with a hiccup. You find yourself a little overspent and you're not quite clear the reason why. Or you're like, oh yes, I had the splurge because it was my daughter's birthday. I just need more discipline. I hear it a lot. I hear it a lot from clients, those on free calls. And honestly, it's not discipline that is going to correct the problem. You think internally you're not cut out for this and that you're the problem, and so you want to jump into discipline. So for this episode, I actually looked up the definition of discipline, which I'm going to read to you. It's from Webster's. It's quite interesting. The definition of discipline is the practice of training people to obey rules or a code of behavior with punishment or other undesired consequences for those failing to comply. You know what? We need to stop telling ourselves we need more discipline. That's not what we want. Too many people already think budgets are restrictive. And then if we say we just need discipline so that we can follow this rule, we can just obey and do these certain things. And that, I think, is underlying whether you knew that's the definition or not. You're like, yeah. But are you also saying that's not really what I'm saying? I just need to be more strict about it, disciplined. That's what I need. All right. There's a lot of people who think they just need more discipline to be able to save consistently or follow a budget. However, discipline alone isn't going to fix inconsistent spending, which has a multitude of underlying reasons why it's happening. Emotional splurges, that's something different. Discipline's not going to fix that. Or any unclear goals, whether that's retirement or current. We have to have those things in place. Discipline isn't going to make those things better. The real solution is creating a plan, a money plan, a budget, however you want to define that aligns with your life, your values, and your financial priorities, not self-punishment. Okay, so why isn't discipline enough? First off, we don't like the definition. At least I don't. I don't think somebody should approach money with that idea. But discipline isn't going to work if your systems aren't working, if they're not complete, and you haven't created the specific habits that align with your dreams. Now, let's talk about that for a quick minute. Habits. Habits come from skills. We learn skills, and then these skills become habits. That's what we want. That's not discipline. Without clarity and structure, even smart, motivated women are going to be stressed, off track, and second guessing their decisions. And if this is, you're going to be second guessing your ability. You're thinking, I'm not good with money. I can't figure this out. I'm not good with numbers. You start second guessing your ability. This misaligned approach is going to lead to wasted time, lost money, the delay in you reaching retirement freedom. And discipline alone, discipline at all, is not going to help you create the strategy, the steps, that willingness to be able, and that knowing to move forward. So how can you start fixing that? There's two things that I mentioned earlier, clarity and systems, that are going to get you started. First step, you want to start with creating values and priorities. They're not the same. Values give us that this brings us to this point. So it's family, experiences, travel, those types of things. There's all sorts of values. And then priorities are necessary because we don't have an endless amount of money. Very few of us, listeners, those of you in this community, have an endless amount of money. And so we've got to prioritize where our money is going currently and for retirement. I talk about now and later all the time. This is what that is. So you need to know what really matters to you now. And does that extend to retirement? And it may not. Not everything is going to go over to retirement, but we've got to have this give and take. Do you remember when you were told you had to share with your siblings or share with your friends? And so you're like, one for you, one for you, one for you. That's the same gesture here. Some for now, some for later, some for now, some for later. It's got to be this balance that's going to build what you're wanting now and what you're wanting later. Clarity. Clarity is key in knowing how to start navigating your way into a better result. Clarity is what we are doing in my Retirement Ready Planning Workshop, January 24th, 2026. Head over to elevatefinances.us/workshop. There's also a link down in the show notes, but I would love for you to go over there to learn more. I've got a different structure for the day. Reserve your spot. Investment is $35 until January 5th, when the price will increase to $55. And I'm capping this workshop to the first 20, as I want to give everyone time to get support during the workshop. We are implementing action. We are getting clear. I am helping you navigate your way into a better result. So as you begin to gain more and more clarity, which we're doing the numbers piece in that one, I want you to get your vision clarity. You think about what would you like to change currently, but also what are you wanting to keep and move into retirement. Like I said, it's a piece for piece, but not everything's going to go over. And what becomes the most motivating, and building that plan, creating that plan that is realistic. Number 2, you need to create systems that support who you are. If you are not a numbers person, why are you tracking every little expense? I had a client come to me and she says, I was tracking, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that information. Then stop. You have to create the system for who you are. And I always say to start with a simple system. This is what I have all of my clients do. And then those who are numbers people, they will dial into every expense, but they know how to get there. So a simple system means one that's going to support your bills, your current spending, what you're doing between paychecks, and your savings. That simplicity of that system, make sure you are not only getting the bills paid, enjoying the things right now that you're spending, but building in that saving piece that is crucial to your financial stability. And the final thing that you need, that we're getting rid of discipline, if you've forgotten why we're having these other things, is you need to start understanding the why behind each choice you make. This isn't to bring about shame or guilt. But this is to build up your awareness. Understanding, evaluating decisions, evaluating purchases. Does it support my values and priorities? Remember, we talked about that earlier. We have values. I value family time. A lot of people value experiences, which means they're going to be traveling, and that's their gifts. We have to understand what the values are, but then we also have to define our priorities. I always want to do X, Y, and Z, but sometimes Z doesn't happen. It doesn't make it up that list. Eventually it will. Eventually it will. If you can dig deeper, if you can start thinking about the why behind each choice you make, you are building awareness. Awareness is a soft skill. Now, I haven't talked about this in a long time. It is a soft skill where a hard skill means like you know how to budget, you know how to look at the numbers, you're moving your money from accounts to accounts. All of that is like a hard skill. We can tangible, but this soft skill is in your head. It's between your ears, and it's a golden skill. And what do I mean by it's a golden skill? Once you master this, and there's going to be different stages, different steps, but once you master this, managing your money becomes so much easier because it is clear in your head. It's not foggy. I had a client who took the values exercise that we did, and we talked about awareness. And she's like, whenever I go to grab something off the shelf or online, I think, does this fit my values? Is this supporting me? That right there is an awareness piece. And she's brought it all the way to that purchase phase, to that quick why, the why behind why am I making this purchase? And so being able to do that takes some time. It's going to take some skill. It's going to take some learning, and understanding how all of these pieces fit together begins to support and create this ecosystem. So it's time to leave discipline behind. We don't need to be disciplined. Heck, I'm not even disciplined. I just try to stay within my plan. My plan has fluctuation areas and it supports me well. But what you do need is clarity. Clarity with your values, now and into retirement, and priorities. And on your priorities, where is retirement? How does that fit in there? How does that clarity support and align with the system you have? And then when I talk about system, this is your budget. This is your money management system. How are you flowing your money from when you get paid to paying bills to saving? Do you wait till the very end of the month to get that saving somewhere? Yes and no. I'm just going to say that, but simplify the system. Don't overwhelm yourself with information you don't need. And last, make sure you are constantly increasing your awareness with money. That right there is going to get you further than anything else. And I just want to, one more plug that I will hope you will join me in that retirement ready planning workshop. We are gaining clarity around the steps you have taken to date. And what does that give you? What does that look like? What gaps are you facing? Now, gaps aren't bad. Gaps mean we need to work in some areas, and your gaps are going to be different than somebody else in that workshop. But knowing how to solve those gaps is where you're going to get your momentum, is where you're going to get the clarity of, I have done all these things for the last 10 years, or I've sporadically done these things for the last 10 years, and I really want to know how they add up. This workshop will answer those questions for you. So I hope you'll join me. Again, that's at elevatefinances.us/workshop. It's January 24th. It's a Saturday. It's about 5 hours, quote, long. Go check out the workshop information. It explains the format, what we're doing, how we're diving into actually getting something done that day. So thank you for being here. This was a very fun episode, and let's lose the discipline and head out to gaining some clarity. We'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. If you found this episode helpful, I'd love for you to subscribe and leave me a review. It really helps others be able to find the show and get the support they need as well. And if you're ready to take action, be sure to take my retirement ready quiz at elevatefinances.us/quiz. It's the perfect place to begin your retirement plan. And hey, let's stay connected. I'm on Instagram, sharing quick tips, answering money questions, and just keeping it real about retirement planning. Find me at elevate_finances or search Daleen Higgins. I'd love to see you there. And remember, retirement isn't just a dream, it's a plan, and let's make it possible together.